The first 2 days of the trial week felt unreal. Everything worked too well. Orders were ready on time. Coffee stayed hot. Sandwiches looked exactly the way they should. People in the co-working space smiled when they saw us walk in. Some nodded, others joked, a few even asked our names. That scared me more than silence ever had. By Tuesday evening, Max was already talking about the future. If this works, he said, pacing the kitchen, we could lock this place in long term. Maybe add pastries, or another location. I nodded, but my stomach felt tight. Success doesn't relax you, it sharpens fear. Wednesday morning started wrong. I opened the storage cabinet to grab packaging and froze. Max, I said slowly, already knowing the answer, where's the thermal packaging? He looked up from the grill. What packaging? The insulated ones, the good ones. His face changed immediately. I thought you ordered them. I thought you did. For a second, neither of us spoke. Then Max checked the time. 40 minutes, he said. That's all we've got. There was no time to argue, no time to fix it properly. We grabbed the cheaper packaging, the kind we promised ourselves we wouldn't use again. The sandwiches still looked fine. They tasted fine, but they cooled faster. They felt rushed. No one complained that morning. That made it worse, because silence after a mistake doesn't mean forgiveness. It means waiting. Thursday hit harder. We were exhausted, mentally and physically. The kind of tired where you stop noticing small details, and small details are everything in food. I tasted the sauce and hesitated. Does this taste weird to you? I asked. Max tasted it, frowned for half a second, then shrugged. Maybe a little, but not bad. We used it. 2 hours later the messages came. Something's off today. Not bad, just strange. Then I saw it. A story on Instagram, tagged the co-working space. Tagged us, not angry, disappointed. That was worse than hate. Max dropped onto a chair. This is my fault, he said. I pushed too hard. It's not just you, I replied. We relied on effort instead of systems. A message arrived from the co-working manager. Guys, what's happening? Quality matters to us. One more issue, and we stop. I read it twice. This wasn't about sandwiches anymore. This was about trust. And trust breaks fast that evening. We didn't cook. We didn't argue. We didn't joke. We didn't joke. We sat at the table and wrote checklists, storage rules, temperature checks, backup packaging, emergency plans. Who checks what, when, how, why? It felt boring and serious and necessary. We slept 3 hours. Friday morning we arrived early. Too early. The building was still quiet. I walked straight to the manager. We messed up, I said. No excuses today. Free coffee for everyone. And we rebuilt our process. This won't happen again. She studied my face. Okay, she said finally. But I'm watching. We worked like machines, no shortcuts, no assumptions. Every step double-checked. Every sandwich tasted. Every cup measured. At noon, messages started coming in. Much better today. Back to normal. Actually really good. Then the same guy who posted the negative story uploaded another one. Update, they fixed it. Respect. I leaned against the wall and closed my eyes. My hands were shaking. That evening, we didn't sit at the table. We sat on the floor. I always thought business was about making money, Max said quietly. Turns out it's about owning your mistakes and fixing them fast. I added Saturday was the first day in weeks we didn't work. We sat in a park with coffee, not hours on purpose. You think we're ready for more? Max asked. I think we're ready to stop improvising, I said, and start building. He smiled. That sounds adult. I laughed softly. Inside, I knew something important had changed. We didn't just survive a bad week. We learned how close we were to losing everything, and that knowledge made us stronger than success ever could. After the breakdown, something changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically. It changed in how we worked. We stopped improvising, stopped fixing everything with energy alone. The chaos didn't disappear, but it became controlled, and that control gave us space to think. Mornings were still early. The kitchen still smelled like coffee and toasted bread. The Lanos still complained every time we turned the key, but now there was rhythm, preparation. We weren't guessing anymore. Orders became predictable, subscriptions stabilized. The co-working space didn't just confirm the next month, they asked about the one after that. For the first time, the future wasn't just hope. It was written down. We rebuilt our spreadsheets properly. Costs, margins, time limits. Clear lines showing how much we could handle without breaking. Numbers stopped being scary once we finally faced them. And we learned something important. Saying no is part of growth. We stopped taking last-minute orders that destroyed our mornings. Stopped chasing every opportunity that looked exciting, but paid in stress. Bad growth, we realized, is worse than no growth. Max changed too. He focused more on people, remembered names, asked how exams went, how presentations went. He noticed who liked spicy, who hated lettuce, who always needed extra sugar. People felt that. Feels like you actually care, one customer said. That mattered more than charts. One afternoon, a message came from an unknown number. Hi, this is Anna from an event agency. We're hosting a conference for 120 people. Need coffee and breakfast. Can you handle it? I said it out loud immediately. We can't. Max leaned over my shoulder. We can. That's triple our volume. So we plan. For the first time, planning didn't feel like panic. We rented a small kitchen for a day, hired a friend, paid him properly, negotiated with suppliers, wrote schedules on the wall. Who does what? When? What happens if something fails? The night before the event, we barely slept. Not from fear, but from responsibility. At 6 a.m. we were already there, coffee machines humming, bread toasting, boxes labelled and stacked. Everything had its place. The first guests arrived, then more, then a line. Who's the coffee from? Bro business. By noon, everything was gone, no delays, no complaints. We stood in silence afterward, surrounded by empty boxes. We had done it right. Anna pulled me aside. You guys are solid, she said, reliable. Have you thought about a permanent spot? The word permanent followed me home. That night we sat in our kitchen, the same one where this all started. A small window, Max said, not a restaurant, just coffee and sandwiches. And staff, I added, and systems, and rent, I said. Max smiled. You love killing the vibe. I love keeping us alive. We talked late, not about dreams, but about reality. Locations, costs, mistakes we didn't want to repeat, the kind of business we didn't want to become. I don't want this to ruin us, Max said quietly. Then we make rules, I replied. And remember why we started? We didn't start for money. We started because we were scared, broke, and tired of waiting. Weeks passed. We didn't rush. We prepared, said no more than yes. Built savings, improved systems, took events carefully. People started calling us the Bro Guys. One evening, after a long day, we stood in front of the fridge. It was full, not fancy, not rich, just full. You remember when this scared us? Max asked. I nodded. Now it just exists, he said. Like stability, we raised our cups to us, Max said. To the system, I replied. He laughed. To the Bro system. Tomorrow would bring new problems and new risks, but now we weren't just surviving. We were building something that could last.